So I support the largest possible renewable energy target for the European Union by 2030, and I see 45% as representing that, simply because the biggest challenge we have to meeting our net zero targets is scaling up the supply of renewable energy fast enough. The barriers to that are not cost. Renewable energy is already affordable. The barriers lie in our regulatory frameworks and our permitting frameworks. We need to address these. We can address these issues now, or we can address them later. If we address them now and scale up our renewable energy faster, it will be politically challenging, but we can do it, and we avoid locking ourselves into requiring huge amounts of negative emissions later in the second half of the century. Those negative emissions are going to be far more expensive than the transition to renewables itself, and they're going to be far more challenging politically in the international context. The more we can avoid locking ourselves into negative emissions later, the better. So the fundamental thing that we need to do in order to scale up our renewable energy supply fast enough is providing investors security, so that people investing in new power production and renewable energy supply have the security they need to be able to make those investments and make them at the least possible interest rates for their financing costs. I think we do that through long-term contracts. We do that through quota systems. We do that through everything that reduces their risk of not being able to sell the renewable energy at least their actual production costs. The other thing we need, the second thing we need, are revising our permitting frameworks so that the permitting can go along a fast track, respecting public opinion for local projects, but at the same time resolving conflicts quickly. And then the final thing we need is we need sufficient trade in renewable energy in order to be able to balance intermittent resources across the continent.